There's a person in every meeting who barely says a word. And somehow, everyone remembers what they said. The friend who never seems rattled. The one who doesn't announce her goals and quietly reaches them anyway. That steadiness isn't luck, and it isn't personality. More often than you'd think, it comes down to one Stoic habit. That takes 5 minutes, costs nothing, and it's completely invisible from the outside. And that invisibility is exactly why it works. Epictetus was teaching it 2,000 years ago. I've kept this habit every night for years, long after every other routine I tried fell apart. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, why it works when motivation doesn't, and how to start tonight, even if you've never read a page of philosophy in your life. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to Emberhollow. I'm Heidi. This habit is the reason this channel exists. It's the 5-minute nightly vow I've kept longer than any 5 a.m. alarm, any tracker, any challenge. So let me show you what quiet people actually do. The habit is the Stoic evening review. Before sleep, you sit with your day for 5 minutes, and you look at it. That's it. That's the whole thing. No app, no journal required, no one ever sees you do it. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and became the most sought-after Stoic teacher in Rome, told his students not to let sleep close their eyes until they had walked back through every action of the day. 3 questions. Where did I act like the person I'm becoming? Where did I slip? And what would I do differently tomorrow? And there's a reason it's done at night, not in the morning. The day is finished. There's nothing left to perform, nothing left to rescue in the moment. All that's left is to see it clearly. You're not planning the day, and you're not surviving it. You're simply reading it back while it's still warm. That's when the lesson is cheapest to learn, and it's the version of you that goes to sleep that quietly carries it into tomorrow. And if you think a habit this quiet is a habit for the weak, look at who else kept it. Marcus Aurelius ruled the whole of the Roman Empire, the most powerful man alive. And still, most nights, he sat and wrote himself a few private lines, reminders, corrections, honest notes on how he'd handled the day. He never meant for anyone to read them. We only have them because the pages survived. He called them, simply, the things to himself. We call them meditations. And the most famous Stoic book ever written was never a book at all. It was one tired man's evening review. Quiet power has always been built this way. Notice what those 3 questions are not. They're not, what did I achieve today? They're not a productivity audit. Stoicism isn't asking whether you did enough. It's asking whether you were you. Whether the day moved you 1 quiet inch toward the person you're becoming, or 1 inch away. You might be wondering, that's it? 3 questions in the dark? How can something that small be the habit? Stay with me, because the size of it is exactly why it works. Here's the first reason. Every other self-improvement habit asks you to perform, to produce something. Pages filled, streaks unbroken, workouts logged. The evening review produces nothing. Nothing to show off, nothing to break. And a habit with nothing to break is a habit you can't fail. On your worst day, sick, exhausted, flattened, you can still lie in bed and ask 3 questions. The bar is low on purpose. That's Stoic design. I'll say it plainly. 5 honest minutes at night beats every habit tracker app ever made. The second reason is what it does to tomorrow. Epictetus built his whole teaching on one line. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. The Stoics called it the dichotomy of control. The evening review is where that idea stops being a quote and starts being a skill. Because when you replay your day, you see it everywhere. The email that stung, not up to you. The 3 hours you spent rehearsing a comeback, up to you. Night after night, you get faster at telling the difference. And one day someone snaps at you in a meeting, and you feel the gap open up. That little pause between what happens and what you do. That pause is the thing people call quiet strength. It was built at 9:30 the night before. And the third reason, the one that matters most if your follow-through is bruised. Every night you keep this tiny vow, you hand yourself a piece of evidence. I said I'd do it, and I did. Self-trust isn't built by the size of the promise. It's built by the keeping of it. 5 minutes is small. Kept for 100 nights. It's not small at all. Here's exactly how to start tonight. Lights low, phone face down. This happens in your head or on paper, whichever feels kinder. And if you're worried you'll forget, tie it to something you already do without thinking. The moment your head touches the pillow, or right after you brush your teeth. Let the old habit be the bell that rings the new one in. Then the 3 questions, in order. 1. Where did I act like the person I'm becoming? Find one moment. It can be tiny. You held your tongue, you started the thing, you were patient in the school pickup line. Name it. Let it count. 2. Where did I slip? And what pulled me? Not, what's wrong with me? What pulled me? Was it tiredness? A person? A phone? A feeling? You're a scout mapping the terrain, not a judge passing sentence. 3. What's one thing I'll do differently tomorrow? 1. Not a new life plan at 10 p.m. One adjustment, small enough that you would do it tomorrow. Let me walk you through one real night, so it isn't just theory. Say today a colleague took the credit for your idea and you said nothing, then replayed it the whole drive home. Question 1. Where did I act like the person I'm becoming? You were gentle with your daughter at dinner even though you were still simmering. That counts. Name it. Question 2. Where did I slip and what pulled me? You didn't speak up. And what pulled you was the fear of seeming difficult. Not a character flaw. A fear. Now you can see it. Question 3. One thing differently tomorrow. Not become a bold person overnight. Just, if it happens again, I'll say one sentence. That was my idea, and I'm glad it landed. That's a whole evening review. 90 seconds. And you walked out of it with a plan instead of a grudge. 2 quick things, because they stop more people than anything else. If you honestly can't find a single good moment, lower the bar until you can. You got through the day. You showed up. On a hard day, that is the moment. Name it and let it count. And if the review ever stirs something too heavy to hold in 5 minutes, that's your signal to gently close the book for tonight. The evening review is a small daily practice, not the place to carry the deep things alone. If something keeps surfacing, that's worth talking through with someone you trust. Then you let the day go. That's part of the practice too. In Emberhollow, we say Jesper keeps the archive. The old owl who records the day so you don't have to lie awake reliving it. That's all the review really is. You review the day once, honestly. Then you let the archivist close the book. The day has been looked at. It doesn't need to be carried. If you've ever started a habit and quit by Thursday, this part is for you. Don't try to do the whole practice perfectly on night 1. Let it grow across a week. Here's the gentle on-ramp I'd give a friend. Night 1. Do nothing but find one good moment from your day. 1. Just prove to yourself you can look back without flinching. Night 2. Add the slip. Find one place the day got away from you and ask only what pulled me into that. Nothing harsher. Night 3. Add the third question. One small thing you'll do differently. Now you've done the full review once, and you know it only takes a few minutes. Night 4. Start watching for a pattern. Most slips repeat. You'll notice the same hour, the same person, the same feeling keeps showing up. That noticing is the whole game. You can't change a thing you can't see. Night 5. Practice letting one thing go. Find something from the day that was never up to you and put it down on purpose. Say it if you need to. Not mine to carry. Night 6. This is the important one. Do the review on a bad day. A tired day, a flat day, a day you just don't feel like it. 5 minutes anyway. This is the night the habit actually takes root, because you've just proven to yourself that you can and will persist. Night 7. Look back across the whole week. Read what you wrote, or just remember it. 7 small kept promises. That little pile of evidence. That's the quiet confidence other people will start to feel in you long before you do. Now, the warning. There is one way to wreck this habit, and most people who quit it fall exactly here. They turn the review into a courtroom. Every night, a fresh trial. And you're always guilty. If the review leaves you feeling worse, you're not doing Stoicism. You're doing self-criticism with a toga on. The Stoics reviewed the day the way a kind friend goes over it with you. Honest about the slip, warm about the human who slipped. Epictetus was a teacher, not a prosecutor. Marcus wrote to steady himself, not to flog himself. The point was never punishment. The point was that tomorrow gets the benefit of tonight's honesty. If you only remember one thing from this video, make it this. The review is done with kindness, or it isn't done at all. So that's the habit quiet people actually use. 5 minutes. 3 questions. Done with kindness, kept like a vow. Nothing to post, nothing to prove. Just a steadier person, built one night at a time. The calm you see in them during the day. That's just the surface of something they do in the dark. I'm curious about you. Are you the quiet one in the room? And do you already have your own version of this? A small practice nobody knows about? Tell me in the comments. I will read everyone, and the answers to this one I especially want to hear. If you want help with your first 7 nights, my free guide, The Seeker's Morning Pages, walks you through a week of gentle, stoic reflection. 1 quiet prompt a day. It's the guided version of everything I've just shown you. Link in the description and the pinned comment. And if this is your kind of pace, slow, steady, no shouting, please consider subscribing. Twice a week we do the quiet work together. And if you're wondering why so much of the Stoicism you've seen online looks nothing like this, I pulled apart the 5 lies you've been sold in my last video. It's on your screen right now. Until then, seekers, walk gently, be kind, and remember, you are already enough. The best self you seek is already inside you.